Good morning, y'all. Here we are. I just left home this morning on the start of a new run. I've been at home for a couple of weeks and a week or so rather, and did locals on the flowers and stuff like that. Thought I'd be staying at home on the flowers. I thought they were going to kick off, but they haven't. They've been a bit slow to start off. So I've taken another load, which gets me 2 drops over Wenatchee, which I checked the weather forecast this morning. Wenatchee isn't that far away from home. It's only 140 miles if I go over Stevens Pass. So I checked Stevens Pass. This one can be a bit naughty. I'm on the pass right now, but it said it was okay and not a lot of snow. If I go around, it's like an extra 47 mile. I think it is 47 mile to go around over Snoqualmie. But this is a beautiful pass, it really is. I haven't been over here for a while. So we're chancing it and coming up this way. There you go. This is the pass. Which obviously it's not too bad. But it was showing me on the cameras this morning, it was showing me a bit of snow and slush and crap up at the top. And it said no change required, but traction tyres advised. Which I always think is a funny thing. Traction tyres. So, aren't all tyres traction tyres? They all give you traction, so what's all that about? Traction tyres advised. Advised to come with your tyres on your vehicle. There's a good bit of advice right there, isn't it? Just bare rims on the ground will not work very well. Anyway, so it doesn't look too bad at all. We're still climbing up. We've got a little bit before we get up to the ski resort at the top there. And then drop down the other side. So like I say, I've got two pickups, one in Wenatchee, one in Yakima. So I did my Google thing this morning. Google's got a great little app on it, Google Maps. It's pretty easy to use. If this is for the Americans who are doing, as the crow flies, agricultural. I'm not sure if you can do it in England or not on the agricultural, or whether, probably not. So, because it's apples and pears I'm loading, I'm running agricultural. The delivery is for Friday 11 o'clock. It's now Monday morning. My first pickup isn't until 11 o'clock. Hopefully I'll get that on a bit earlier. Second one isn't till 4:30. Yakima, which is about an hour and a half away from the first one, which is south up. I really, really need to run my agricultural from my second drop. Yeah, so follow me here. So if I do it from a second drop, then I get 150 miles, as the crow flies, without unlock. So then I can have a short period tonight of sleep. I don't have to have a full 10 off if I don't start my log. So I measured it all out, and from home, which is my base, it's just in is Yakima. So I managed to be able to do that without starting my log, because otherwise I would have had to have 10 hours off. I'd have been on log by the time I got to Yakima, probably loaded and finishing about 11 o'clock tonight, something like that, which isn't very good at all, because that means I can't stay up till 8 o'clock. Keep up with me on this one. 8 o'clock then turns into 11 o'clock by the time I get over the other side, the east coast to Virginia. That's where I'm going, because of three different time zones I'm going through. You know, so it gets later and later, and it's not very good then, is it? You know what I mean? And it's got to be there for 11 o'clock. So I've got to make the most of today, do as much as I can, have a short night tonight, and set off about 3:30 in the morning. And then I'll be all right. I'll be back in the game then. It shouldn't be too bad if there isn't any hold up. Depending though, my problem is as well is, because of the way they're loading it, I've got to do Wenatchee first. Wenatchee was going to be the second one, this one here, which would then send me straight across through 90, South Dakota. It's the beginning of April right now, so it should be warming up a bit. It should be. Somebody needs to tell this mountain that, don't they? That would have been fine, but they twisted it round, so I have to load the one in Yakima, which is southeast of Washington, and then my quickest and most direct route is to drop down, go Salt Lake City, Utah, turn east at the top of the side of Utah, and head over to Wyoming, going through Wyoming. Well, let me tell you, well, I've told you before, Wyoming can be hit and miss at any time of year. You can get, I think it's one of the states that will snow it snows every day of the year somewhere in Wyoming or something. I'm not sure if it's that state now, I remember. I'm probably telling you an unvernon fact, but never mind, Google it and take it or leave it if you don't like bollocks. So I've got to run all the way through Wyoming, which they've got high wind the other day, tornadoes, all that bloody good stuff, you know what I mean? So it'll be what it'll be, but alright. And it is a pretty run, but fingers crossed it's going to be alright. I don't want to break my my cherry of 2 years of not slinging chains, so fingers crossed. Yeah, we've got a bit of a problem with the putting videos up as well, so I'm going to post this one tonight. Just keep them, because I can't join the videos in together. That Stephanie does all that, but Jack chucked a load of water down Stephanie's laptop, so right now at the moment we don't have a laptop to do it on until that one gets into the menders and we get it back and sorted out. You're gonna have to just put up with me just posting short videos for a little while. Come on, get back. Alright, for the skiers, getting the last bit. I rate this, this is the US 2, sorry, this road. I rate this as one of the prettiest roads out there. It really is. Steady away, yeah, they've got it all clear. This is nice, because that's the top there. I've just come over the peak now, so we're just coming down. Then we run into Leavenworth, which is absolutely beautiful, Bavarian town, which you've seen the videos before. This is one of the difficult ones to keep open because it comes down pretty fast on here. And because it isn't travelled as much as Snoqualmie, they don't have the resources, because it's only a US road, it's not an interstate. They don't have such as the manpower that they have over on the 90. Snoqualmie. So that's the deal. It's 3,000 miles from me leaving home to get my 2 pickups on to getting over to Virginia. You know, for the people, I know I have quite a few people now who watch the videos who aren't anything to do with trucking and stuff like this. Let me just explain how we get a raw deal. Everything's, I'm going to start whinging, aren't I? I shouldn't whinge, but this is the way it is. People don't realise this, but it's the way it is. And you do have a choice, you know. I could have chose not to take this load, but you take this load. Majority of the loads now are like this. Flat to the mat, last minute. You've got no time to wiggle or anything. It's been like that for the last 2 years. I don't know what's going on, but I think it's lack of transport and brokers holding back on the money and not wanting to put the price up on the load boards for people taking the loads until last minute, and then they put it up a bit. I've taken it on this load's paying shit basically, but it's getting me out there, and hopefully my back load is going to be a good paying one. So that's what my gamble is on. It's all a gamble. Transport really is one big old gamble. Here, you want to look at the pretty snow around me. So you take the load, you've got minimum days to get over there. You know, 3,000 days in 3,000 miles in 4 days. It's 4 days, and you've got until 11 o'clock on the Friday morning. So you basically only got 4.5 days, haven't you, from start to finish. So the only way you can do this legally is if it was for the agricultural, being able to run off log at the moment. I don't think you'd do it on time. Well, you wouldn't do it on time because you'd be starting your hours now and you'd be running too late into the night and things like that. So, poor old driver here is forced to not have a 10 hours break tonight. You have to just have like 6 hours sleep and then get going again. You have to, otherwise you aren't going to do it. That's part and parcel of the job. You know, I aren't whinging about it because I've done it for years and I know what to expect, and that's how it is. But I'm just trying to explain to people who don't have anything to do with transport to realise what we're up against in the trucking industry. Then, right, so you've got to have 6 hours off, then you've got to drive a full 11-hour day. That's 11 hours of driving for the next 3 days. 11 solid hours a day. Have your minimum time off of 10 hours and get going again. So that's not so bad, you know, because you got full 10 hours on a night off, and recuperate and get going again. But you still got to do the 11 hours. Maximise. You can't have time to do jollying about anything like that during the day. Drive, basically, to get there. If you do not get to that load on time, which is 11 o'clock on Friday, yeah? Don't forget, if you are late, I think they should close at 12 o'clock on Friday, does this particular one. It's a Kroger delivery. You don't get there, you will get a reschedule charge of 250 bucks, I think it is on these this company. A rebooking charge of 250 bucks. That's to me, that goes to me, yeah? Not to anybody else. I get charged because I didn't get there in time, yeah? So then all of a sudden your cheap load is going even cheaper because you're losing out even more money if you don't make it. Bear in mind as well, then you would be sat there till Monday to get the load off. Your reefer, because your fridge is running on the back, your reefer fuel, you're going downhill rapidly now. So it's all, you must get there. Whatever happens, you've got to get there. Because, you know, you're going downhill fast if you miss that delivery. It's even worse this week, this coming weekend, because it's Easter. So that would be Tuesday if I missed it. So that'd be 3 days. Sat there with a load, with a reefer, and going nowhere. 100 bucks a day for the lease on the truck. Reefer fuel, oh my God. I feel like banging my head against the wall already. So, hey, it's got to be there. That's what we're looking. And you know, this is really what winds me up in the industry that a lot of people don't realise. A lot of car drivers, when they're cutting the truck up and things like that, and the bloody truck's in my way and stuff like that, government come out with all these marvellous rules and things like this, that the driver can't do this, can't do that, which I agree with a hell of a lot of it. I love the way they cut it out the side. It looks really cool, doesn't it?